Let's take a look inside some historic houses.
So basically, if it isn't in Africa, it's a historic house. But if it's in Africa, it's a hut. Interesting.
The Anglo-Saxons made their houses from wood and daub, and it had corners. The materials are very good at holding heat inside. Light comes through the door and through the roof.
As an African, I do want to say though that I have no issue whatsoever with mud huts being called mud huts. There are people who come on this platform in an attempt to degrade or insult Africans by telling us that we live in mud huts. It's not an insult. It's not. And it's very interesting how these people laugh at, Africans and, try to insult us, say we live in mud huts. But today they are building mud huts and they're calling them eco-friendly.
One of the reasons that we think clay as a building material is actually the future of the construction industry.
They called our ancestors primitive, uncivilized, backward for building with clay. But now that they are the ones building with it, it's the future. Noted. Let's continue.
Is because of its wonderful versatility. You can make durable floors with it. You can carve it to form art, make bricks out of it for walls, sculpt it to create free-flowing forms, polish it to make shiny plasters, pigment it to create color combinations of your desires, build ovens, benches, and even whole houses.
Oh, wow. You can do all of that with clay. Who knew? Who would have thought? What a discovery. Wow. I'm intrigued. I'm in awe. Please do tell me more.
Clay is such a versatile building material, and all the while you're having fun playing in the mud, creating community, and creating a better future.
So that's them right there. My old account, the one that got deleted, I had a video I made about this topic and the UN. There's this UNESCO site in Italy that they're trying to preserve. They built an entire African village in Italy, and United Nations is like, oh my God, this shit is so beautiful, we got to preserve it. But the entire continent of Africa is ugly. But it's just funny that I think the Africans not inventing the handgun is what destroyed humanity. I swear to God. Because look now, every single thing that Africans had that they convinced Africans was bad, they've come full circle. You have white people now telling you that using a toothbrush is not a good idea. It hurts your teeth. You need to use chewing sticks. The same thing we were using, they said was not good. You have all these racists on Twitter everywhere. We was Romans, we was Vikings. Now you fuckers are gonna go back to living in mud huts. Like, the sponges, basic.
One thing time would continue to show us over and over and over and over again is that our ancestors got it right. Our ancestors got it right. These people came and put sansan in our gari. Now everything is a mess. Up is down, down is up. We left our eco-friendly houses, eco-friendly huts, and now we are living in concrete, daily inhaling this ish because they made us believe that this is better over the eco-friendly huts that our ancestors built. Eco-friendly huts that regulated itself. It's cold when it needs to be cold, and it's warm and be hot when it needs to be hot, right? It was working perfectly. But now they have us living in cubicles because this is supposed to be civilization. They have us living in concrete, everywhere concrete. We can barely even find any kind of green anymore with the way we are living in 2024 because, everywhere have to be looking like, let me not even get into all of that because it's just so annoying when I think about it. Just so freaking annoying. That now these days, before we can even see greens, we have to pray to the gods of the land before we can see greens because we let these people convince us. Because we let these people convince us that somehow living with nature is bad. Now we are living with concrete. Funny, but not funny. funny but not funny. And now, after these people had made us turn our backs on the way that was actually right, the way that was actually healthy, after they spent centuries demonizing, looking down on, spitting at, shitting on, belittling our ways that were healthy, in tune with nature, now they come back around and start selling these things back to us and speaking about these things like, oh, they just discovered it, like this has never been done before. And this is why we have to really decolonize as a people, decolonize and deconstruct from all of the BS that these people have told us. And all of the BS that they will tell us in the future, because who knows what the future holds at this point. We see what they be telling us today even, right? So it's not just the past. It's being able to have discernment and be able to peel back all of the layers of BS so that we can really see what the truth is that they're trying to hide from us. That's why every single freaking thing that they have said in the past, I know they believe. I don't agree to. Very intentional I am, yes, with my deconstruction and decolonization. That's why I don't want to care whether it's religion or the God that they bring, not interested. Because history and present events continues to show us that these people don't be knowing what they are saying. Present events are showing us that they are not right. Following in their footstep, we have us falling inside pits. I'm telling you. See, if these people say, oh, go to the right, I'm going to the left. I'm telling you. If they say go forward, I'm heading the fuck back. Back. Because see now, see where they are heading. Is it not back? Is it not back that they are heading? And this is why I and creators who make, African creators who make deconstructing, decolonizing content would always say, we have to, as a people, find a way to, as quick as possible, get back to our roots. Go and connect back to our foundation because these people are leading us astray. Oh, these people are leading us inside pits. These people they have been leading us astray for over 400 years now. And it's very interesting how these people laugh at, Africans and, try to insult us, say we live in mud huts. But today they are building mud huts and they're calling them eco-friendly, kiniko. It's just how things are contextualized in this global world we live in. How one can be made cool and then the other is looked as backwards and barbaric or, uncivilized. Closing remark. What I have found in my short time here on earth, the realization I have come to, and I came to this realization pretty early in my teenage years, okay? This realization is, it is not necessarily the item itself that people have a problem with. It is more of which people and where is this item connected to. That determines how this item would be seen and thought of by the general public. So as we saw in the video I am stitching, the houses in that video, because they are not in Africa, they are what? Historic houses, right? But if those same houses are in Africa, and they are mud huts, and there's nothing to see here, they're just mud huts in Africa. It's just the global contextualization of the two words, houses and huts. Houses, something to look upon and admire, but huts, something to look down on. At the end of the day, whether you call it a house or a hut, it's putting roof over people's heads. And for you to think that's something that you should insult people on, it's just goes to show that you are sick in the head. There are literally people who are living on the streets. They wish they had mud huts, I'm sure. And this conversation goes beyond the topic of mud huts. It trickles down to how people generally see African people or people of African descent and the things that we come up with. So, for example, African spirituality, demonic, but Christianity, cool, we like that. African names, what the fuck is that? And it could be the simplest of names, for example, like my name now, Ivie, very simple, 4 letters, right? And they would abbreviate it, talking about, oh, I'm going to be calling you Ivy. Or you can pronounce Shigvlagavoski, And it's not only on the continent. Let's mentally go to the US of A, for example. There are people who say African American cultural names like LaQuisha, for example, are ghetto names. Like LaQuisha is a beautiful name. I still remember vividly the day I read a comment that said LaQuisha is a ghetto name. I'm like, I know the only reason you said that is because you know LaQuisha is an African American name. Like, Alaye, me and you know you would not have said LaQuisha was a ghetto name if LaQuisha was a European name. And the other examples that I cannot get into right now because this video is getting way too long. But basically, what is at play is big old anti-blackness. Period.